Okay, present the screen now. Okay, okay. So let's just get started. So first of all, what is that? We are going to make the wallpaper app today. Okay, so in order to make a wallpaper app, we have to understand few things. The first few things are, what are the requirements to make a wallpaper app? So the requirements are, you can just increase the font size. The requirements are as follows. Number one, you should have your wallpapers ready. Okay, you should have your wallpapers ready beforehand, before starting making the app actually. Number two, you will need to create a JSON file to load the wallpapers into the app. Okay, is the screen visible, Sagar? Okay, so to load the wallpapers into the app, you will need to create a JSON file to load the wallpapers. Okay, so I will also show you how you should you can create the JSON file actually. Okay, number three, you should have Android Studio installed. Okay, and also the Kotlin plugin. Okay, now when you install Android Studio, the Kotlin plugin will already come pre-installed, because Android most of the developers have shifted to Kotlin from Java. That's why the Android Studio comes pre-built with the Kotlin, but you may need to update the plugins and so after installing Android Studio. I will not show you how to install Android Studio, that is up to you. You can there are lots of videos on the internet, on YouTube. You can just watch any of them and you should be good to go. Okay, number four, you should have a let me accept. Okay, so who has joined? Let me see. Vibes BB. Who is Vibes BB? Do I know your name? Vibes BB. Are you Wall Vibes?
Yes, network problem.
अच्छा ठीक है, कोई नहीं. So these are the requirements, and you should have what I was saying. First, you should have your wallpapers ready. Okay, and you will need to create a JSON file to load the wallpapers into the app. You should have Android Studio installed and also Kotlin plugin. You should have you should have a basic understanding of colors. Okay, this part is required, basic understanding of colors. This part is required only to get the theming of your apps correct. Okay, and nothing else is that much required. Okay, I will teach you every single part of it as we proceed. So first of all, we need to download the dashboard. Okay, so for that matter, so what is a dashboard, you may ask? What is a dashboard? So dashboard is basically a pre-built app, okay, and it doesn't need to be a customization app for that matter. So a dashboard is kind of a pre-built app or a general UI of the app, and it is a framework basically, or to say the least, it's a template. Okay, it's a template, and you can input documents or codes as per your needs to the app to make it your own. Okay, so this person, Jahir Fiquitiva, he has made this dashboard ready for us developers to use this dashboard for our wallpaper apps. Okay, so Jahir is a very talented guy. He, along with some other developers, very talented developers they are, and you can know all of their names from the app itself. Okay, from this this image also, Jahir also made the creator of the dashboard. Eduardo Prati designed the UI of the dashboard. Okay, let me join. So Boy has joined. Okay, so as I was saying, these are the few requirements to start the project. You should have your wallpapers ready. You will need to create a JSON file to load the wallpapers into the app, and you should have Android Studio installed. Okay, so this is basically it. I will teach you how to create the JSON file and what should be the structure, like that, so on. Okay. Okay, so we will use this frames dashboard. Okay, to use this frames dashboard, you can just go to Google and search frames dashboard. Okay, and you will get this first link with the GitHub link. You need to click on this, and you will get this page. If for some reason this page is not showing, make sure you are under Jahir Fiquitiva /frames, then into the code. Okay, not in any other. If you are into the code, then you should see this all these files. Okay, and you can see how the dashboard looks, all the pages, and what are the features it has, and how you can add it into your project. Okay, so these are all the developers. They all helped in some way or another, as in the wiki or wiki page, or this one. Wiki is the documentation. It says about how you can set up the dashboard and so on. It has been written by Patrick. It is licensed, and then also Lumik has also helped to write some parts of the dashboard. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a call, I guess. Okay, never mind. So these are some of the people. Okay, so first of all, what you need to do is that you need to download this code. Okay, download this project, this sample project, and from here you can develop your own. Remember, there are few branches over here. Okay, if you click on the bottom arrow to the right of the sample where it is written sample, if you click on that, you will see there are some branches, sample, these master branches. So these sample branches is the one from where we will start developing, and there is also this master branch. You should use the master branch and only if you are a good developer, pro developer, to say if you have good knowledge about coding and so on, only then you should use the master branch, because the sample branch doesn't give you much freedom in terms of modifications to the UI, but the master branch does give you a lot of ability because it is the actual code base. Okay, so the master branch is the one you should go for if you are a good programmer. Okay, if you are a programmer, you can go for the master branch, otherwise just the sample branch is fine. Okay, and here if you click on this code, you should have these two options. One is open GitHub desktop, this download zip, also this HTTPS link. From here you can copy and import from Git. Okay, we will not do this one because I tried this yesterday and it was taking a lot of time to download all the dependencies and so on. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to download this zip file. Now we have the zip file. Okay, so I'm going to download and I'm going to extract the zip file over here. Okay, so I'm going to cut this and paste it inside this folder. So I'm just going to cut the inside, then paste it over here, and this folder is now empty, so I'm just going to delete this one. Okay, so if you click on this one, you will see all these codes, all these files over here. Okay, now we need to open Android Studio. So as I was working on the build fee, we had all the codes. So open an existing project. Okay, we'll click on this one, open an existing project. Then we'll navigate to the folder location where we imported the code, downloaded or extracted the code. Now here is the frame sample under E drive, as you can see from here, E drive. Okay, so we need to click OK. And if you see here at the bottom right side, you will see that Gradle build. So some process is going on in the background that needs to be completed to actually run the code. Okay, so let this process complete first, and then we should proceed on with the modification of this dashboard and so on. So now coming back to this page again, the GitHub page again, we can open this wiki page in another tab, and you should, on the right side you have all these links to all the pages where you'll see how you can just set up the dashboard. Okay, so first off we go to the get started page. Okay, so we will open the get started. So what it is saying is, get the project directory and extract all the files to a safe destination such as documents in Android Studio. Use open or an existing Android Studio project to start editing. Follow terminal prompts to install missing components. So that's what we did. Okay, we downloaded the project, then we extracted it, and then we moved it to a secure location of our preference, and then we opened Android Studio and we imported the we select the option import from an existing project, and then we located the folder and then we imported to Android Studio. That's all we did till now. Okay, that's all we did till now. Now moving on to the, you'll see that this build process that was happening over here, it has ended. So now we are good to go. Now we can just run the app. So I have already a emulator ready, and to give a overview of Android Studio, since most of you guys will be new to Android Studio, I will be showing a few things over here. Okay, first of all, you should see this right panels view over here, Flutter written. You will not see this on installation. No need to be worried, because currently I am working on Flutter, that's why these are appearing, because I have the Flutter plugin installed. But by default you will be seeing all the rest of these things. Okay, and this is your project. This is your project. If you see on the left side, this project number 1 project is highlighted. Okay, if I close again, this project structure will close. So this is the project structure. Okay, now you should keep in mind it is currently showing as Android. This is only good when you are kind of developing and so on, but for when you are setting up the project, you should not use this view. If you click on the drop down button, you will see there are multiple kind of views you can use, but for this kind of modification we should use the project structure. Okay, now if you use the project structure, you will see there are three things. There are frame sample where our actual codes is there, then there are external libraries, you should never touch this one, and also scratches and console, you should also no need to touch these two bottom two. Okay, this external libraries is where all the dependencies will be downloaded. Okay, so what are dependencies? Suppose there are few suppose some developer made a code, okay, and you want to implement a particular thing. Okay, so you don't need to make the code from scratch all over again. You can just add the dependency of that code the developer has created, and you can just start editing from there on. Okay, this can get a little complicated for now on, so I'm not going to go in details because these are not at all required for you, okay, to set up this project. Okay, so we expand this frame sample, and right now we see all these files. Okay, no need to get scared to see this. Okay, just follow these guidelines, on the wiki page. So we have the get started things done with the get started page. Then there is a create package. So we'll go to create package. Now the package name is an internal namespace for your code, such as com.example.app. Okay, so what is the package name? So a package name is a unique identity of your app, and a package name of each app is different from one another. Okay, so how you should know what is the package name of your app? So if we go to Play Store, go to the app section, then we just open any app. We just open Harpy. Okay, so what you see on the URL bar, there is this thing, and after this ID equals to, this part is the package name of this app. Okay, and for each app this package name will be different. Okay, no two apps will ever have the same package name. Okay, and we'll go to this wiki page again. This package name is written as in the backwards of your domain name. What is a domain name? If you have a website, then suppose you have the domain name of the Google website is, the basic Google website is www.google.com. So if they were to create a app, Google app, they will simply name the package name as in the reverse manner, com.google.www. Okay, it is not required to write that way, but you can do that way. Okay, suppose for example my apps. Okay, if I go to one of my apps, suppose I go to Bitlit now. Go to Bitlit, and if you see over here, after the ID and equal to part, there is this part. Okay, I'm just going to copy this one and I'm going to paste over here. I'm just going to paste over here so that you can see that. So my package name is com.shubhamsaha.bitlit. So this is my format of writing the package name for my apps. You can just do whatever you want as long as it doesn't match with any other. So I add a com, then dot, then my name, then the app name that I am creating. So you can follow this process also that I am doing, and this is the same process that I do for all of my apps. All of my apps has this same naming structure for the package name, and everything should be in the small letters. Okay, there is a naming structure for everything in coding. Okay, and you should try to follow these naming structures. Okay, everything is in small letters, and these components should be separated by a full stop. Okay, com.shubhamsaha.bitlit. Not necessarily it has to be my domain name. Okay, it is not necessary that this needs to be the reverse order of my domain name. No, you can just make your own. Okay, now that we got it out of the way, now we need to create a package. So if you take a look on this code, and we are currently under frames sample. If we extend this app, then if we extend this src or source folder, you will see this under main, you will see Kotlin and Res. This Kotlin folder will contain all the Kotlin codes, or all the Kotlin codes. Okay, where all the main logic of our codes will reside. And there is also a Res folder where all the resources for our project will be stored in different folders or so. And then there is this file called, this is the Android manifest file. So this file is the most important file of any Android project. So this file sets the gateway for your project. So if you did everything wrong in your main code, but there are some mistakes in the Android manifest file, the app will simply not run. Okay, and in the current state, if we expand this Kotlin folder also, you will see that there is a package called dev.jahir.frames.app. Okay, this is the package name that has been already given, but we cannot use this package because this package name is the package name for this frames dashboard. Okay, if we go to this first page, you see you can download sample. If you download this sample and run it, and if you use some kind of APK analyzer, you will see the package name for the sample app will be this one, dev.jahir.frames.app. So we cannot basically use it because we want to release our app and no two apps should have same package name. Okay, so we need to get rid of this package name and then create our own. So how we can create? It has been clearly mentioned on the create a package, add a package. Right click on the app src main Kotlin and then select new package. Okay, right click on this. So what is the folder structure? App src main Kotlin. Okay, please turn off your video, Musab. Thank you. Okay, so we need to right click on this main. Let's go back again so that you understand. Okay, so this is our main, this frames dot sample main app src app src main, then Kotlin, and then right click on Kotlin. If you right click on Kotlin, you will see this new. If you go to new, here is a thing called package. Go to this package. So suppose I want to name this wall app. I want to name this app as wall app. So I will follow the same naming process for writing the package name, com.shubhamsaha.wall app. As I already mentioned, how I am going to write the package name, com.myname, then the app name. This is the way convention I follow. Enter. So you see another folder has been created with my package name. Now what I need to do is I need to cut all these files, all 4 Kotlin files. How you know these are Kotlin files? Because on the you see this blue icon, and after each icon there is a Kotlin logo. So what is a Kotlin logo? If you cannot see clearly, I'll show you the Kotlin logo first. This is the Kotlin logo. Okay, so this is the Kotlin logo. So what is a Kotlin? Kotlin is basically an advanced form of Java. So Java is a programming language, Kotlin is also a programming language, but what is the basic difference between them is that Kotlin requires less lines of code. Okay, and there is also a thing called null safety, which is most important in coding these days. So Kotlin use certain features which are more advanced in terms in comparison to Java. That's why Kotlin is preferred nowadays. Okay, so all of these codes are written in Kotlin. Okay, there are some codes that are written also written in Java. We'll see them later. Okay, for now we'll see these ones. All of these written are in Kotlin, and they should have an extension at the end .kt. It may or may not have, but if you see this Kotlin logo, that means it's a Kotlin file. Okay, and all the codes written inside is a Kotlin code. But it should be also noted that Kotlin and Java are both interchangeable. That means is that in a same file, if you create a Kotlin file, within that you can write both Java codes, you can write also Kotlin codes. Both will work simultaneously. So that is the benefit of Kotlin actually. Okay, interoperability. This is known as interoperability. So we don't need to go into all those details. I'm just telling you these informations, so that in future when you start to look at these files and get lost, you will know what I am dealing with. Okay, so after we have created the package name, after right clicking on Kotlin folder, then we should go to, then what we need to do is that move files to the package, expand this folder Kotlin dev Jahir frames app, and then cut all 4 files located inside and paste this in your package. Okay, for some reasons if you cannot file this file structure dev /Jahir frames app, it is the same thing. if you go to, we are currently in the project tab, if you go to the Android tab, okay, then we expand app, res, not res, okay, it's not Java, okay, if you Java, then Jahir, so you'll see all these things, okay. Packages, if you go to the packages first, okay, give me a moment. Okay, now you see if we expand this dev Jahir frames app, now you get this folder structure that here it is mentioned, okay, that dev Jahir frames app, this you will get this folder structure now, but we will be using this project view, so you will find this under Kotlin, okay. So we need to cut all 4 files, so I am going to press control and select with the left mouse button and select all of this file, then right click, sorry, you should have this, okay, right click and cut, and right click on your package name and click on paste, okay, something like this will pop up, hit on OK, it will move all the files there, okay. You may get some errors, okay, you may get some errors now, you will see that we will get some errors, okay. Right now here is a error, okay, this is red means a error, okay, in coding red means a error, okay. We will not worry about it right now. As you see under if we expand our package, we will see that under main activity we will have a error, okay. So we do not need to worry about this right now, and now we need to delete the original package name, okay. We right click on this dev.jahir.frames.app and then delete, then we have to delete it. What is the delete? This is the delete it. We should never do it from here, okay. If you go to the show explorer, I am going to build, if you go to show explorer, then you should see this one, you should see all these folders, okay. So if you should never go to this folder structure and then cut files, okay. This is not a good use, because Android Studio will take care of all the things, because if some codes is written on some other places, then it will throw some errors. That's why if you are doing cut paste activity, then you should also always try to do it from this project over here, okay, this project panel, okay. So as you see, if I close this expansion, then you will see our project, our package name with all those 4 Kotlin files, okay, and the original one that was by Jahir, that has been deleted, we don't need that one, okay. Then we need to enter the package name, same package name, the package name will be same throughout all the files in our app, so we need to enter our package name in Android manifest file, okay, in our Android manifest.xml file. So now we were till now we were dealing with Kotlin files. So Android manifest file is a XML file. So XML and HTML are markup languages. You don't need to know about much more of them now, but this is the entry point of our app, okay. If there is any error in this file, then your app will simply not run, okay. Also the main Kotlin files, if there is any error, the app will simply not run. So if you open the Android manifest file, where will you find the Android manifest file? If you expand the app, then source folder, src folder, then you will see that after the res folder or resources folder, you will see that Android manifest file, okay. You double click on it and it will open, and on the top, at the top you will see that package, there is a thing called package and equal to, and in between double quotes there is the package name. Which package name is used? This package name is the original package name that was already provided with the sample code, but we don't need this package name, we need to input our own package name. So if you somehow forget your package name that you had already entered, you can always go to expand this Kotlin folder and you see your package name. But if you want to just direct copy and paste, because you might have a fear, oh, I missed some spelling mistake, I make some spelling mistake, to avoid that, if you open your main activity.kt or any of these Kotlin files, on the top you will see your package name. Okay, so we'll just copy this part of the just the package name. We'll just copy our package name, and then we'll go to manifest file and paste inside the double quotes. We should not remove the double quotes, okay, at any point of time. We should not remove the double quotes. So we are currently done with our package. Okay, next, set basic values. So we are done with number 1 and 2. Now we are going to we have come to this page. This says set basic values. We need to open this file, myapp.kt. Okay, so where we will find this file? Build src, then source, then main, Java, then under that is myapp.kt. So where is that? Here is the build src. If you expand the build src folder, then if you expand the src folder, then under Java you will find the myapp.kt file. You will see these are also kt files, Kotlin files, because we have the Kotlin logo over here. So you need to double click on the myapp file and you will see some things. Okay, so there are 3 things to note. Okay, first is the app ID. This will be your package name. So copy and paste the same package that you had already entered. And there is the version. So the version and version name are different. So this version name is the one that will be displayed in your Play Store or inside your app as well. Okay, so my version will be something like 1 for the initial build, and my version code will, this is the version code, so my version code will be for the initial build, it will be 1. So how I need to change it? Okay, so when I update my app, so suppose my first update has come after the initial build, after the initial release. So what should be the version name for the version code for this one? The version code should always be 1 step incremented. Okay, you should not just put any random numbers. You should always try to use 1 step incremented, not the before number. Okay, number you have already used, because that will simply throw an error when you try to upload your file on the dashboard, okay, or on your developer console. So for our first update, when we will do the first update, we'll change the version to 2, and then version name to whatever you may like. You may do it 1.1, 1.2, whatever you want, or even 2.0 or whatever. This is up to your decision, whatever you want to name it. This doesn't matter, but this part matters, the version code. This version code matters. Okay, give me a moment, because I was getting a call and for some reason my phone switched off, so I need to call again. Give me 2 minutes, we'll start again. Okay. হ্যাঁ, আমার ফোনটা খুব প্রবলেম করছে ভাই, সুইচ অফ হয়ে গেছিল, ফোনটা স্টার্ট হচ্ছিল না। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, তুই কি গ্রুপে লিখে দিয়েছিস তোটা? আচ্ছা, তাহলে ঠিক আছে, তাহলে চলে যাবে। আমার তো নেই, আমার তো মেয়েরা আছে। ঠিক আছে, আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে, চল। ঠিক আছে। হ্যাঁ, ওই ফোনটা প্রবলেম করছে খুব, ফোনটা সুইচ অফ হয়ে যাচ্ছিল বারবার, কল দেওয়া হয়নি। পুরানো নতুন মানে কোনটা? ওই তো OnePlus-টা, যেটা প্রবলেম করছিল। হ্যাঁ, সব ঠিকঠাক তো? খাওয়াচ্ছি। Sorry for keeping you guys waiting. Okay, I'm back. Okay, we'll start once again from where we were. So this version code that we'll be writing, changing in updates while we are giving updates, that is very important. Okay. So we don't let me make this once clear that we don't need to update every time we add new wallpapers. Okay, because the wallpapers will be fetched from cloud via the JSON file, so you just need to edit the JSON file. Okay, that's all. You don't need any other thing. Okay, you don't need to update the app every time. Okay, unless there is any significant problem in the app and you need to update the version. Okay. Then what we are going to do is what we did till now is that we changed our package name in 3 places. First of all, this under the Kotlin directory, we deleted the original, we cut the 4 Kotlin files from the original directory and created our own package and put it inside. Okay, then we changed the package name in the Android manifest file over here, in the package over here between the double quotes, and then we come to this under the build src, we come to this my app folder, myapp.kotlin. Okay, myapp.kt.kotlin folder file. Then we changed the app id to our app ID, package name, and then we changed our version and version name. So since this will be our initial build, that's why we put the version 1 and version name 1.0. Okay, and again, once again, the version name can be anything, whatever you want, but the version number should be, an integer number, that means a whole number, and for each updates the number should increment at least by 1. Okay, make sure the next version number is 2 or 3. Okay, you should not follow jumping like from 1 to 3. You should only do that when there is certain error while uploading into the developer console. Okay, so we have done till this part now. Okay, so let us come once again. So version information, that this part I told already, that you have to change the version code and then we have to change the version name. Okay, then we come to this fourth part, and we have to now we have to change our app name. Okay, so we have to come to this strings.xml file. Okay, the strings.xml file, where you can find this file. If you go to res and then XML, the values, if you expand the values folder, where we are now, we are under the app, then is source, then res, okay, and then values. Then we will find the strings.xml file, and we have the app name, and after that it is written frame. So because this is the sample, the name of the sample app is frames, that's why it is written frames over here. And as I told already, the app name that I want to give for this app is wall app. So this is just a random name. So whenever you make your own app, you can just give whatever name you want. Okay, then wall app. This part is done. Okay, naming is done. Then set app icon. Okay, we will come to this part a bit later. Okay, now set launch screen image. Okay, now no, first we come to this set app icon part. Okay, we just come to this app icon part. Okay, so before you do anything, you should have your icon file ready. Okay, so I have my icon ready. Suppose I want this icon as my app icon, and make sure the icon is at least 192 by 192 pixels in size. Okay, as you see the dimensions over here, it is at least 192 by 192 for this one, and for this one this is 512 by 512. We need this one. So if you go to Android Studio and then right click on this, where it is written, we have to right click on this drawable. We have to right click on this. Okay, you have to right click on this drawable or res folder. You can just you see these folders called mipmap, NEDPI, HDPI, MDPI, XHDPI, XXHDPI and XXX HDPI. These are all the folders which contain your icon file. So you see this icon launcher.xml, this is your icon. This is your icon which has been converted to XML. You don't need to convert this to XML or anything, because Android Studio will take care of that. So right click on this res folder or drawable folder, whatever you want, but you should right click on this res folder, and you see go to the new and then image asset. Okay, let it give some time. So that's how you will create an icon. Okay, so you can have a background color. Okay, so there are 3 tabs over here. These first 2 things, icon type, you should not change this. You should not change these 2 fields. And then we have 3 options: foreground layer, background layer and the options. What is the foreground layer? The Android icon that you are seeing, the white head, Android head that is seeing, this is our foreground. And the background, the green background with the grids, that is our background. So in on the foreground, we want our foreground element. So for this app, what will be our foreground element? So this will be our foreground element. So this is our actual icon, and I have separated the background and foreground like this. Okay, so I have to now select the foreground layer. So I have to, how I can select the foreground layer? You have now 3 options over here. You have source asset. So what are the asset types? Image, you can use an image, you can use a clip art, you can use a text. Okay, but since we will be using an image, because we have already created an icon, and this is a PNG file which is an image file, and the background is also a PNG file, and both are 512 by 512 in resolution in my case, but it should not be less than 192 by 192. Okay, so I am going to choose image and then path. So I am going to select that folder. Okay, now it is located in D in my app projects, Delphi new. Then we have come to this part. I have icon BG, icon object. This icon object is my foreground. Okay, now resize, we need to resize it. We should not trim it. Trim, yes, not we should not try to trim. Then we have to decrease the resize part. I generally like to keep it around 60 or so, because you see this borders, these black borders, we have to keep this well inside this black border, so that our icon does not exceed in size. We should try to keep it at 60 or 55. Okay, whatever you like. So I am just going to keep it for now at 58. You can just manually change it. I have to okay, I am keeping it at 60. Okay, 6 is not looking good. I'm going to press the down arrow key to the modify the value according to our liking, or I can just drag the slider. Okay, so my foreground is now at 55%. I've resized it. Now going to the background layer. Now for the background layer, I can also select an image, and I can also select a color. If we select a color, we need to input a hex value. So what is a hex value? So the hex value, this is a hex value, and this is the RGB value. Both are different. So each color on the color palette will have a hex code value. Okay, you can just use any eyedropper tool like this and click and select any color from any image or so, and you should get the hex value. It's pretty easy to get the hex value. If you can't get it, search it on YouTube how you can get hex value from a image. Okay, you can use a hex value and then change the background color. Okay, I can just do it like this and we have it. Okay, but for this one I want the image. I want an image to be the background. So I am going to navigate to that folder once again. Build in new. I have the background file already ready, icon.bg. So this will be my background. Now you see it's proper. We don't need to resize the background since it's a very plain background and there is no elements to that background. That's why we don't need to bother about the background resizing. But we need to bother about the foreground resizing, because we need to keep the foreground object well inside this boundary, this dark black kind of rounded boundary. We need to keep it well under under it. Go to the options. Here are some options. You don't need to. You need to modify any of this. Okay, you don't need to modify any of this. Then go to next, and you will see all these red things. You don't need to worry about this, because Android Studio will replace all these files and convert all these files, overwrite all these files as required. Okay, we are going to press finish. So our app icon is done. Okay, then we have another thing called set launch screen image. So what is a launch screen image? So if I come to this frame once again, and if you go to this bottom part, okay, I cannot see it right now. So do you know about a splash screen? So what is a splash screen? So what is a splash screen? So a splash screen is something when you open an app and for a brief period of time, for few seconds, the app will show its logo or a loading progress. Okay, something like this. So when you open the Spotify app, you will see the Spotify logo on a background. Also when you open the YouTube app, you will see the YouTube logo on a background for few seconds. So this is basically a splash screen. To display your app icon on the splash screen, or any image for that matter on the splash screen, you just need, what you need to do is that you need to have your image first of all. Then you need to what is called, this is called you need to rename that file to app splash screen underscore picture.png. Okay, so you need to rename your image to app splash screen app underscore splash screen dot screen splash underscore screen underscore picture dot png. The format should be png because the background needs to be transparent. Okay, and you should save your file in this dimension only, 280 by 288 by 288. Okay, you should not get more than this. You should not use a 512 by 512 or 192 by 192 image. You should try to use this one, as this will look more proper in terms of sizing. Okay, so I have my image file ready. This will be my image for the splash screen. It is in 512 by 512 resolution, but I want it in 288 by 288. You can just resize this with any kind of online software, or if you have any converter on your desktop installed, you can use that. But I already have it converted for my build project, so I am just going to copy this file. So you should remember the naming should be proper. What is the naming? App underscore splash underscore screen underscore picture, and the format should be png, and the background should be a transparent one. Okay, so we are going to copy this file, and we have to paste it inside app source main res and then drawable node API. So we open the project structure again, and if we right click on this drawable folder and then click on the show in explorer. So this show in explorer, we will see this file, this project structure. Okay, so we have all these files. So we have this drawable v24, drawable any DPI. Okay, but it has been mentioned that you should put it inside drawable dash no DPI. Okay, so we copy this name, then create a folder inside the res folder. Right click, new folder, then paste the name that was given there. So we have the drawable no DPI folder. Why this no DPI folder? So if you put any image inside this, so all different mobiles have different screen sizes, all different phones or gadgets have their different screen sizes. So if you put any image inside this folder and use that, then the image will be resized according to the screen size of that particular device, so that you don't need to create multiple versions of the same image to fit different screens. Okay, that's why we just need one single image with that specific dimension that was mentioned, 288 by 288. Okay, and we are going to copy this file, this splash screen PNG file, and then put it inside the drawable no DPI folder. Okay, right click and paste. You can just also drag and drop. Now you said that the drawable no DPI folder wasn't here before, now it's showing, and since I pasted the image, now it should be showing over here. Okay, the apps underscore splash underscore screen underscore picture dot png file. Okay, it's now showing. So our splash screen image has been set. Set app colors. These are for theming your app. We'll come to this part later. There are certain general settings. We'll come to this part as well later. Okay, now for now we need to fix one thing. If we come to the main activity.kt file, we'll see this error, import dev.jahir.framesapp.r. we need to delete this line, delete this piece of code. Okay, because it is imported by Android Studio, but we don't need this code. Okay, we need to come here to build config, which is showing error, and we need to click on it, and it will have this pop-up. We'll see it will ask you to press alt plus enter. So press alt plus enter and you will have something like this. Okay, so you can just import this file, or you should not import any other file, but you should try to import this file, dev.jahir.frames. Okay, so we already have our piracy checker, so we only need this dev.jahir.frames.buildconfig. So now our error is gone. Okay, now we go to the YOLO message and we'll see this part. We need to just overlook it, we don't need it for now. So our error is gone. That means we can run our app. So you could have just done this at the first step when you cut the 4 Kotlin files and pasted in your package. You could have done that by then. Okay, so now let's run our app. I have my emulator ready. So if you want to create an emulator, you can just go to YouTube and search how to make a emulator on Android Studio. Okay, and just start our emulator. Okay, so I have my emulator over here. If I click on run, our emulator should start. Okay, not this one. These are all the images from my picture. Who is joining so late? Alfonso, we are almost at the end of the class. Not at the end, because we are almost done with today's session. Almost 1 hour is over. I will do 10 to 15 minutes more probably for today's session. Then for the rest of the part will be taken care of in a following day, maybe tomorrow or the day after. Okay, so if you want to watch whatever happened till now, I will upload the video later on my YouTube channel, and also you can stick around to see what else I am doing currently. Okay, because I have already passed 1 hour. I will not be able to tell whatever thing has been done in this 1 hour, so you need just to bear with me for these few moments. Okay, so we have run our app. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, so it is currently throwing an error. What is the error? Get wall app from Google Play. So it is saying license invalid. Why license is invalid? So many of the times you will see this pop-up. You will see this pop-up only when you download the app from outside the Play Store and you download a pirated app. This is to prevent piracy. So if you download any APK for any customization app, most of these days you will see this error. So this is the error that you will get. To override this error, what we can do is, here is a code. Okay, get license checker. So it's saying return if build config.debug null else super dot get license checker. Okay, so what is happening over here, when you imported this build config, it simply threw an error. Okay, so what we can do over here, we have to go select this package name and then try to replace with the previous package name, see it's working or not. Okay, so it's not currently working. Okay, let us still try to run the app. I will also tell another way to get around this issue. So I will just, okay, so as you see over here, our error is gone. So first we need to import the build config, then we need to replace the first package name with our own package name. Okay, but it will say that it is not being used, unused import directive, but you don't need to worry about it. Okay, since nothing, until and unless nothing is showing as red, you don't need to worry about it, everything is working fine. Okay, so we go to our wiki page and we go to our general settings, because we are done till number 6. We are done till number 6. Set app colors, we will do this the next day. Change security settings. Okay, so few things you need to change, that is the Amazon App Store. So you can allow installs from Amazon App Store via Amazon install enabled. So if you want your users to install your app from Amazon App Store, then you can set it to true, this code, or you should set it to false. But since we are not going to be deploying our app to Amazon App Store, we are going to set it false. So where we will find this code? So if you come to this main activity.kt, you will see these 3 lines. Okay, these 3 lines are very important. Also this 4th line, we will come to this 4th line later on. So this is called Amazon install enabled. Boolean. So what does a boolean mean? The boolean means it can have a true value, either true or false. Okay, so it has been by default set to false. So I also wanted to keep false, because I don't want my app to be deployed to Amazon App Store. Okay, let's see what's the next thing. It says Lucky Patcher. So Lucky Patcher is an app which lets you patch any premium or paid app and turn it into a modded app, APK. Okay, so what this line of code will do, it will check if the user has Lucky Patcher installed on his device. If the Lucky Patcher is installed on his device, then it will set simply not let the user to run your app. It will show the same error that we had already it was showing when we first run the app. Okay, the license verifications thing. Okay, so when I released my app initially, I set it to true because I didn't want anyone to pirate my app. But later on later stage, I found that even though the user didn't have Lucky Patcher installed, it was still showing error for this this line of code. So what I did was I simply turned it set it to false, so that the app doesn't search whether the user does have Lucky Patcher installed or not. Okay, I simply don't care about it now. Who is joining now? Gilbert, we are already done with 1 hour of lecture today, almost 1 hour. So there are only 10 to 15 minutes left for today's lecture. You can stick around, but I will not be able to mention all the things we did till now. However, this class is being recorded and will be uploaded to my YouTube channel shortly after the class is over. So you can go and take a look at that. I will post the link in Twitter, but if you decide to stick for now, you can stick around. Okay, so let's come back to this one again. Check lucky patcher. So we need to set it to false. I will set it to false. You can set it to whatever you want. Okay, I will set it to false. Then I have check stores. So what is this check stores code? Okay, if you come to this wiki page once again, it also says this thing called third party stores. So it will check, the app will check if you have any third party app stores such as F-Droid or some app stores like that, Blackmart, which lets users to download modded APKs or pirated APKs. So you can, if it is set to true, the same thing will happen. The user will, if the user has any third party app store installed, then it will show an error. Okay, and why you should always try to set it to false is that some OSs like Color OS or MIUI, they all come with their own own app stores other than the Play Store. Okay, so in some cases, even though the user doesn't have any third party app stores, the ones that are promoting piracy, the app will still detect there is some other third party app store installed outside the Play Store. So that way the app will simply throw the error that license checking has failed and the user will not be able to run the app. So that's why we will also try to set it as false. So I'm just trying to elaborate as we go what each of these things means. I will not go into the coding details because these are not required. I will only tell you what is required for you as a beginner to get your app up and running as fast as possible. So these things will be set to false. Now what is this fourth thing, billing enabled? So if you want to, so we'll come to this billing part a bit later, but I'll tell you right away. So if you want donations within your from within your app, if you want the user to donate to you from the app itself, and so then you can set it to true. But since my app will be a paid app and I don't want any donations from the users, the payment for the app will itself be a donation. So that way I don't want any donation, so I will be setting it as false. Okay, so false. Okay, this part we are done with. We are done with the security settings. Then we will come to the general settings. We have left out the app colors for today. We'll do it the next day. Okay, now change general settings. How you can change general settings? You need to come to this file dashboard setup.xml to change the general look and feel, general things about your dashboard. Okay, so where you can find this file? You can find this file under the values folder. So where is the values folder? If you come to this folder structure, then we have the values folder, and under the values folder we have the dashboard setup.xml. So we open, double click on this one, and you see all these XML codes. So what is the XML code? So let me copy this part, this part, so that you understand what is this XML code. We will try to understand this XML code a bit, so that we understand the anatomy of this XML code. Okay, let's not copy this one. We'll try to copy this one. Okay, we'll try to compare both of these. Okay, so if I separate it like this, so this is the thing. So we have a boolean. As I already told you, what is a boolean? Boolean is the thing which takes only two values, either true or false. So boolean is a data type. Okay, what is a data type? You can there are various data types such as string, int for integer. Okay, string is used for any kind of text, or if you are using any URL, for that you should use string. But if the value should be like true or false, you should use boolean. If the value will be some kind of number, then you should use the data type as integer. Okay, for the XML layout, we first use this left bracket, then the data type, then this name, okay, then equal to, and between the double quotes, what will be the name of this parameter? What will be the name of this boolean? The name of this boolean will be animations enabled by default. So we are asking if the animation is enabled by default or not. So what should be the answer? It can be either true or false. That's why the data type boolean. Okay, and now we are closing the bracket. Now we are closing this one with a right arrow. Okay, and the value of this boolean, this is the name, and the value of this boolean will be this after this closing brackets. Okay, then we have our value, then we also have our tags. This is a tag, so ending tag. So all the ending tags will be like this. So the left bracket again, then this backward slash, then your data type once again, same data type that you have used over here, and there is your right arrow. Okay, so the layout of any XML file is like this. Okay, understand this. This you will not require to understand, but if you understand, then it will be a lot better, because you will need to edit a lot of XML files later on when you will modify some of parts of the code. So I will create a string. Okay. So I am just going to write the basic structure for a XML code. So here will be our data type, then it will be a name, and in between the double quotes we will have the name of our data type. Okay, so let's say it is a data name. Okay, then we will need to close this. Close this tag. We will close this tag. Then here will be our value. Whatever the value will be needed, we will be having this value over. Then we need the closing tag, this part. Okay, I am just going to simply copy and paste this one, and then inside the bool I need the enter the data type. So if you understand from over here, this is our data type, this is our data type. Okay, same format as before. Try to understand it, guys, try to understand it. I am saying once again. So same thing, boolean and data type. So what is our data type? For this case it is a boolean, so that means it has two values, either true or false. Okay, then the name thing you should write as it is, and the name of the data and the name of the data that you want to add. So I have simply written data name, and then after the closing bracket you should add your value over here, and then you have the closing tag, and inside the closing tag we have the backwards arrow, and then backwards dash, and then your data type, once again the same data type you have written over here, and then there is the right arrow. Okay, now if you want to create a string XML for a string with a string value, then how you can write it? String, then name, then equal to, then double quotes. And what should be a string? Name of a person. A name of a person can be a string. Okay, and age of a person can be an integer. Okay, so person, so the name of this person name. Okay, person underscore name. So this will be our value name, and we have to give the value now. As you have seen over here, we have to give the value. So suppose the name of the person is Shubham, as my name is. Now we need the closing tag. So what kind of data type we used? We used the string data type. So we need to close it. So I hope you have understood the XML format. Okay, if you have understood this part, then rest of the things will be a lot easier for you to edit. Okay, now we come back to this once again. Now we have to edit the dashboard setup.xml file. We will open that, and we don't need to look at this file again and again. Everything is already mentioned here. Okay, this all tags you see, these are grayed out, these are comments. These are not actual lines of code, but these are comments to let other developers know what this line of code means. Okay, so first one, this is a string called name toolbar logo. It is clearly written over here. Do you want to show a custom logo in the toolbar? So if we open any app, suppose we open YouTube homepage. YouTube app homepage, sorry. If you go to the YouTube app homepage, okay, this one. So if you go to the YouTube app homepage, you will see this, that there is an icon as well as the text, the name of the app. You can show it like this, or you can show a image. For this scenario, they are using both an image and text. But you can either use create a new dialog, put its name here with the text. It will already be shown in the main section. Okay, then if you use if you want to use any image, instead of showing just the name, then you should have a image and then put it in the drawable folder. Okay, this is the drawable folder. You just need to paste the image inside the drawable folder. Okay, and then just add the name over here. You don't need any extension. So suppose I want to show this Bitlit logo instead of showing Bilfi logo, instead of showing Bilfi name on the app bar. Okay, so what I will do is I will simply paste this image inside the drawable folder. I will right click on it and then paste and OK. So Bilfi icon is over here. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to go to rear factor, rename, and then I need to copy the file name. Okay, I copied the file name. I just simply write it over here, Bilfi icon 512. Now if I run the app, see the difference. Okay, to see the difference, first I am removing this one. Okay, now first see what is the actual one, and then we will try to see the difference. Okay, a minute. So currently the name of our app is showing. So as we were loading the app, you saw the splash screen. We will try to see that once again. This white screen. Now this was our splash screen. Okay, with my app icon. Now if you want to show the app icon over here, instead of, or any image for that matter, instead of the name of the app, just you can just save that image inside the drawable folder, put that image, and then enter the value over here, or the name of the file, but without the extension. Here the extension is .png. We don't need that extension. Now we try to run the app. Okay, terminate once again. Now it's showing, only the icon is showing, but in this case the orientation or the alignment is not proper. So I will just revert back, and I also do not prefer to use app icons in this sample code, because we do not have much freedom in terms of changing the alignment of this icon. Okay, that's why I generally try to keep it as it was. Okay, then notifications enabled by default, it should be set to true, I guess, because you want the user to get all the notifications that you will send. So if you suppose you released a new update, and suppose you release new wallpapers, so the user should know that you have new wallpaper, so you will send a notification via your app that new wallpapers has been added. So if you want to show it by default, then set it to true always. So also if the user goes to settings and then come to here allow notifications and disables it, the user will not receive any notification, but it will be set to default. You see that when I installed the app, and by default it is currently turned on, but if I set it to false and run the app once again, you will see that by default it is set to false. Okay, let me terminate and it will load the project once again. Now go to settings, go to the bottom, come to the sorry my bad, allow notifications. For some reason it is not turned off, but I guess since it is our debug version, that's why it is maybe not showing. But in our actual app you will not be receiving any notifications if this is set to false, but we want this to be true. Okay, now animations enabled by default. Obviously we want the animations, we want the app to look smooth and have some nice animations, whatever animations is there. So we want to set it as true. Privacy policy link, terms conditions link, we don't need it inside the app. Okay, when you will be uploading your app on the developer console, then you will be required to update this, and you can update this there. But if you want to update this inside your app, you can always do that. Okay, if you want to show them inside your app, since these are not set, you will not see these options inside the settings page. Okay, but if you provide these links, then it will show inside the settings page. Okay, now show version settings in the versions in the settings. We have set it to true. So what it does is, if you go to the bottom of this page and you see these versions, we have our app version along with the version code. So our version name was 1.0 and our version code was 1. So this is showing, but if we set it to false, this will not show. Okay. Also the frames, the frames dashboard that you are using, you will see the dashboard version as well. And then there is default theme. So there are 3 options. 0 is for light, 1 is for dark, 2 is for system. So when the user installs the app, if you want to set the default theme as light, you should use 0 instead of 2. If you want to use the dark mode by default, then you should use 1. But if you want the system, if you want the theme to be decided by the system, follow the system theme, then you should press 2. I generally like to keep it as system, so that whatever theme, whatever the mode the user has set, light mode or dark mode on a system, the app will open in that same thing. Okay. Now there can be two kind of dark modes. One is kind of slightly grayish kind of dark mode. So if I turn on use appearance, now from here I can change the app theme. Now this is a kind of dark mode. You see these are all gray kind of dark, but not actual true black. So what is the use of true black? So in case someone has a AMOLED screen, in that scenario the true black will be helpful, because in AMOLED displays all the blacks will be all the black pixels will not be lit. That way it will use less battery, so it will be beneficial for the user. So we will try to have the AMOLED theme enabled by default set to true. Okay, as you see over, it is set to false, so it is already by default set to false. Okay, but you should try to set it as true. Okay, but user can also select it from the settings page. Okay, so I'm going to set it as true. Now donation items. Okay, so we have our donations item. So if you want to enable donations, then we have to enable from the main activity.kt billing enabled. We have to set it true first, then we have to go to Android manifest, and also here is some billing thing to do over here. We have to enable that one also. You have to remove this part, this line of code. Also you have to add the items over here. Since will not do any kind of donations from here, will not go in details with this one. Okay, now our general settings is done. Okay, what we have left over is change wallpaper settings, and we will do till this page for today. Till this page we'll take care of wallpapers, add credits, enable notification, donation, custom styles, all this later on. Okay, we're not going to do all this today. So the class will probably I need probably 3 classes to actually demonstrate everything, because I need to make you guys understand what each of these components will do. Okay, Now to change wallpaper settings, we need to go to frames setup.xml file. So where is the frame setup.xml file? Inside the values folder, okay, where you found the dashboard setup.xml. We also have the frame setup.xml folder. Now if we come to the top, we have an XML which is saying a JSON URL. So this is a JSON URL. So what is JSON first of all? So JSON is basically, what is JSON? JSON is basically a database. So JSON is basically a database which is used to store your data. Okay. So we will be using JSON to store all of our wallpapers on the cloud. Okay, and I will be going in depth of this JSON, how you can create your own JSON and so on, what is the JSON structure and so on the next video, not today, because it will be a lot, you need to understand a lot in that thing. Okay, that is the most important bit of this whole wallpaper app thing. Okay, because you will be changing that JSON file on each update. Basically whenever you add new wallpapers, you will be editing that JSON file. So you need to understand that JSON file in depth so that you don't make any mistakes. Okay, so we will skip this line for now. Okay, now the next one, allow immediate downloads, it has been set to true. So what that means is that when the user installs the app for the first time from the Play Store, if it's set to true, then the user will be able to download your wallpapers whenever right after the user installs the app from Play Store. But if it has been set to false, the user will need to wait 3 hours after installing the app from Play Store to download any wallpaper from your app. Why this is important is that most of the times, if we go to our purchases, our app purchases, if you are already a developer, you will know that most of the users will buy your app, then make a backup copy of your app or download all the wallpapers and then simply uninstall your app or refund your app. That way they are pirating also, and you are not getting any money. Okay, so to prevent user from pirating your app, also downloading your wallpapers and then deleting, refunding your app, we can set it as false. So we won't enable immediate downloads. Sorry, everything will be in small letter, so we should set it as false. But if you want to set it as true, if you want to give your users that freedom, you are most welcome to give that. I will not be doing that. That's my scenario. Okay, now the next option, downloads on one Wi-Fi only enabled by default. So if you want the user to download your wallpapers only using Wi-Fi, then you should set it to true. But for countries like India, Wi-Fi is not easily accessible for the most of the population. Okay, let me get this clear first of all. For countries like India and some other countries, for third world countries basically, Wi-Fi is not so readily available. Okay, that is much more available in countries like US, Canada or so on. But for India and some countries like our third world countries, the Wi-Fi is not easily available. So we should try to set it as false, because we should let the user download the wallpapers over via mobile network as well. So we should try to set it as false to support majority of our target demographic or our user. Okay, next, enable colored tiles. Okay, now if we come back to our app once again, okay, if we come back to our app once again, and if we come to this part, you will see these are all the default wallpapers from this JSON file. We will go into that in the next class. Okay, sorry, already 1 hour 24 minutes has been gone over. So if you open any wallpaper, you will see the see something like this. So here will be your wallpaper, here will be your wallpaper name, and below that will be the name of the artist or your name basically, and then after that you will have a heart button or to set it as favorites. If you set it as favorites, it will be set in the favorites tab. Okay, as I did now. Now if I enable colored tiles, this wallpaper name and artist name and also this heart button will be above a colored tile. This color will be taken from the color of that image or the wallpaper they have provided. Okay, let me show you that. First see this one, first see this page. Okay, I need to take a screenshot. Can I take a screenshot? Yes, I can take a screenshot. I have taken a screenshot. Okay, now I need to set it to true. I set it to true. Sorry, my bad. Set it to true. I run the app once again to show the changes. Terminate. Okay, now you see the difference. Now you see the difference. The color tiles part, the color will be derived from the wallpaper. Okay. Okay. Now to see the difference, I will take another screenshot, and I guess it will be saved into the desktop. Yes. Here are the two things. This is not the color tiles one, but when I set the color tiles to true, this is the result. This is the result. Okay, color tiles. This thing is showing as gray and this thing is showing as black because before opening the app, I had already changed the dashboard to show AMOLED theme by default to true. That's why. Okay, nothing else. Okay. There is another thing called enable field collection preview. So if you go to the collections tab, you are showing like this. You have the wallpaper and then you have the category name and how much wallpapers there are in the category. Okay, but I am going to take a screenshot. This is here. Okay, so enable field collections preview, it has been set to false. If I set it to true, how it will look like? True. So let's run the app once again. 10 minutes, open collections. So this will be like this. So take a screenshot once again. I'm going to show you the changes now. Okay. So this was earlier. This was earlier before making any changes, and this is after I made any changes. Okay. So you can see the difference. In the first scenario, you can see the wallpaper clearly with the category name and how many wallpapers there are in the category. But in the second one, the wallpaper is showing, but it's dimmed, and on top of that, the category name is showing, but how many number of walls are there in the category, that is not showing. You can set it to however you want to show. Okay. For my picture, I set it to false. Okay. Okay, now show wallpaper palette details. Okay, so when I click on any of these wallpapers, if you go to this wallpaper, if I click on any of this wallpaper and then go to info, you will see these color swatches, this color palette, whatever there is color palette from the image, it will generate over here. But if I set it to false, this color palette will not show. Okay, so it is up to you whether you want to show it or not. I generally prefer to show it, that's why it is set to true. Okay, now there is a thing called wallpaper placeholder, collections placeholder. You don't need to worry about it, you don't need to know about it much more for now. Okay, so I hope you understood most of the topics that I talked till now. So I have done till now change wallpaper settings, I guess. Let me see. Yes, change wallpaper settings except the set app colors. Okay, we will take on with this in the next class. Okay, so if you have any queries as of now, till now, whatever happened, or if anything else you want to know aside from this one, you can just turn your mic on and ask me. Okay. If you want to ask anything, you can just turn your mic on and ask me. Then I hope no one has anything to ask. So with that being said, I will stop the recording here, and